Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Foxing Around podcast. I'm your host, Raymond Fox.
Hello.
What up, bro? What's going on, bro? You look like you're in a whole new setup. What's up?
Raymond.
Yeah, bro, we're good. What's up? We're live, brother. Yo, can you hear me? Hello. Hold up. I can hear y'all. Can y'all hear me out there, man? Make sure you guys can hear me out there. If you can, just give me a thumbs up in the chat. River's having some technical difficulties, I think, right now.
We're back, bro. We're back.
Hey, there we go. We're good to go, bro. Damn, you had the speaker volume turned down too loud, huh? What were you watching before this?
Something.
Hey, what's good, brother? How you doing?
Not too bad, bro. Yourself?
Hey, bro, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. First things first. Hey, man, since we're both in them, let's give the people a look, man. We got Foxing Around shirts. We got a few more left. I think we got about 3 or 4 larges, a few extra larges, and a couple double XLs too. So if you want to order yourself a shirt, they're $35. We'll ship them out to you ASAP. Just let us know, man. We're super excited about that. We got some more merch coming too. Should be with you guys in about a week. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. What else has been up? Obviously, man, we took a little bit of a break. We had to tend to some personal matters, man. And, it was tough. It was a hard time, man. But we got through it together as brothers, man. And I know our brother is watching tonight and now always. He's got the best seat in the house, man. So much love to our brother out there, man, flying high with the Eagles, bro. But yeah, we got a good show for you today, man. Obviously, we got Tonia Jo Hall. She should be joining us here in a few short minutes. Hey, bro, why don't you tell them about Cleanest Way, bro? Tell them what's up.
Tell them about. All right, so if y'all don't know, we're sponsored.
Hey,
we got sponsored, and basically we signed the contract. And 50% of all of the money that we get Foxing Around, we're going to be giving it away to a nonprofit or a charity. That's our way to give back. Like we say, it's not about us. It's about giving back. So, how that goes, I think, Ray, what do we do again?
Yeah, so at the end of the show, we're going to, whoever's still here, hopefully you guys all stay. Whoever's here, man, we're gonna put a number up on the live here. You're gonna give that a call. The first one that gives us a call, they gotta tell us either a charity or a nonprofit that they support, that they love, that they want to see the $200 go to. We'll look it up just to make sure that it's a charity or nonprofit, and then the $200 goes to them for the week. So thankfully, we're gonna be able to be doing that for the next couple of weeks from our friends at Cleanest Way. And if you guys don't go follow them on Facebook. We'll drop the link in our comments later, but it's Cleanest Way Duck and Furnace Cleaning, man. Those guys are great out there, man. Giuliano, and we got Shannon Brass, and of course, our other
white guy.
And our token white guy, who you guys will meet one day. We'll show you guys the token white guy that we got. But yeah, bro. So we just want to thank them so much, man. They're doing a lot of great work. They're an upstart company out of Regina, I believe. They're servicing ducts and furnaces and just, keeping that good, clean way out in the Saskatchewan area. So please, man, do us a favor. Send your business that way, man. They're good people. They're the kind of people that you want to be working with. So, and we do too, because they're fucking dope.
Can't
But
go wrong there, bro. Can't go wrong
yeah,
there. Yo,
no,
check out this setup, bro. I couldn't get in a green screen, so we're in my room. This is how it looks when I stream Xbox and I stream my video games. So yeah, we had to go with this today. We'll be back in the green screen next week, though. Don't worry. I'll be looking like you, bro.
yeah, bro. I was just about to say you did a hell of a quick cleanup job there. Like I thought the whole world was about to know you left dirty socks and and get you everywhere, bro. But good looks on cleaning it up real quick.
10-second tidy.
Hey, there we go, man. But I think we're about ready, man. Sometimes you like have to do an introduction, or you're like, yo, people need to. We'll hype this person up, man. But how do you hype up Tonia Jo Hall? She's hype enough as it is, man. She's dope, man. We're so happy. When we reached out to her, she was nothing but kind to us, man. And like, she was just talking to us for a long time, giving us advice, like just an absolute gem of a person, man. So I think without further ado, man, we'll just get her on here. Like I said, no introduction needed, man. Here we go, Miss Tonia Jo Hall. What up?
Hi. Oh man, I'm so nervous. I was like freaking out before.
What?
Yeah, I was. See?
Damn. Now we're kind of freaking out too, man. We're huge fans of you. We told you too. We were like, yo, like when we made a list, because when me and River first started this, we made a list of like 10 or 15 people that we were like, man, we have to interview these people. And Tonia was like right up at the top of the list. But we were scared to ask her for a long time because she's, a big deal. So we didn't know how to get to it. But we're so glad that you came on here today, Tonia, man. Tell us what's been up. Like, what have you been doing since like COVID hit? And like, have you been working a lot, or like has it turned virtually? How does that work?
Well, at the beginning, I wasn't really working. I think my last physical show was in March out in Washington. And then I kept being optimistic though. I was like, everything will go back to the same. It'll be okay. We'll be powwowing soon. I'll be doing comedy shows soon. And that wasn't happening. And so I started doing virtual shows though, maybe in I don't know, maybe August. The virtual shows really started coming in, and from March to August, that was a little bit of a struggle. So I was having to slang t-shirts and do the whole merch, the merch life, and which is hard. And so anyone who's selling merchandise, good job. That's like 24/7, like, oh, somebody bought a shirt, oh, I gotta package that up really quick. And it's just like hustling. And so I'm really, it's been an adjustment starting all these virtual shows, because it's nice to hear people like laugh like at what you're saying versus like everyone's mics muted on Zoom and you're just looking at yourself. It's good practice though. But yeah, I'm just really thankful to be on here. And most of all, I think I've really dove into being a full-time mom. Like my whole purpose of doing comedy after college was so that I could be there for my two daughters. And I'm really, really, every single day here for them. And usually before the pandemic, it was like three times out of the month I was gone for about 10 days. And so I was missing those days in their lives. So it's been a beautiful adjustment. And now I feel like honored to be able to work right from my home and to be like in my closet right now. This is good.
Hey, that's dope. That's dope. Nah, I think everybody's kind of like tried to adjust as best possible to the circumstances that they're facing. Man, me and River too, like we got lucky, thankfully, like that COVID hit, because we were like, man, there's nothing going on. We're not doing nothing. We're stuck in the house. We were living together at the time too, just bored. Like River would stream video games sometimes, but we were like, man, we need to do something. And thankfully this kind of jumped in our lap. But I wanna know a little bit like about growing up, man. Like where did you grow up? Like and how did you grow up? What was your childhood like?
So I grew up in Standing Rock Sioux Tribe, or Standing Rock. Most people know the Res as Standing Rock, and as the the No Dapo, the Ocheti Shakoi camp. That's where I grew up on my mom's side, Anita Wounds. And then my dad's side, I grew up on MHA, the Mandan, Hirata, and Arikara, also known as Fort Berthold. So I grew up.
Hold up, you're good.
Somebody called me.
Oh, yeah, it's funny.
I grew up with my parents co-parenting. Apparently, my parents were married at one time, and my mom was Anita Hall, but I don't even remember that.
Damn.
And so they started co-parenting, and my parents are functioning alcoholics, so they maintained their 9 to 5 jobs, and then they also, fed their addictions with alcohol. And I grew up all around alcohol most of my life and most of my childhood, back and forth, whether it was with my mom or my dad. Like, I was in the midst of parties. I sometimes I'd have to hear partying all night and then wake up and go to school, fix my hair and then pretend like there wasn't any chaos happening at home. And so I feel like I was like trained almost as a young girl, like how to be like have it together as a performer. And so through my comedy as Auntie Beatrice, through college, through everything, like when I am dancing on the power floor or I'm going on stage or I'm speaking, like I've always already had that survival skill to like whatever's going on at home, whatever's going on, like when you step in to this performance, you step in here, you leave everything on the side. So it's been like a coping mechanism, a survival skill. It's been growing up in chaos like that with alcoholism. Like I would even get woke up from my sleep, whether it was by the cops are here or somebody's fighting or all of that, like all the chaos. And on the other side of that chaos was my parents believing in me. It was my parents, no matter what their addiction was, they were feeding me words of affirmation and believing in me. I was just a little girl, but they would always say, you're so funny. Gee, come out here. Come here. Come visit us in the midst of the parties, or come dance. And then they'd start singing, that drunk singing.
Yeah.
Hurry up, come dance. She's a champion jingle dress dancer. And then I would be so shamed out. But nevertheless, I would bust out and dance.
Yeah.
And so I was always used to getting that, like, being the only child between my parents. I have 2 other siblings that weren't raised by either my mom or dad. My dad had a son and my mom had a son. So I was their only child that they were co-parenting. And so in the midst of growing up in alcoholism, I was also taught how to dance by my mom and how to run long distance and really how to believe in myself from my parents and them striving through with their education and their jobs and telling me that this was our route, but it doesn't have to be yours. And so that's pretty much how I grew up, I guess, in a fast way of like explaining it.
Yeah, for sure. Is it like, so like you said, like, is it weird to like differentiate that? Because like you said, your parents know how to, do their 9 to 5 and get up and work, but there's also that, like that addiction and that struggle and that, just those tough times that you're watching unfold, like, so was it hard to process as a kid, like kind of what was going on, or were you already like hip to it and you knew what was, you knew that they had their addictions pretty early in your life?
I think a little bit of both. I knew that was the way it was. I never agreed to it. Like I think I felt sad a lot and abandoned and neglected, even though they were in the house. And so it was having me turn to myself, to rely on myself and to see those things, those experiences and use them for comedy. I think that was like, it was really hard. Like, I'm not sitting here and sugarcoating it. Like, it was hard growing up like that because all I really wanted was a sober parent to like show up for me in the ways that I needed. And I had to like rely on supportive friends and sometimes their grandparents or their parents as outlets, or extended family, or we like to call it hunka family. And so that was tough, but I used it for comedy. I used it in my power dancing. I used my art to express myself and to really provide that therapy that I was missing.
Hey, no doubt, no doubt. So you talk a little bit about like powwow and like early roots. It sounds like you were pretty much like embedded it from like a kid, like you said, your mom always taught you to dance and stuff like that. How does that like kind of play into how you're growing up too? Like is powwow pretty important from like an early age? and then like always kind of something you did?
Yeah, ever since I was a tiny tot, my mom used to dance fancy shawl. She was a champion fancy shawl dancer, and back in her day, it was trophy contest, so it wasn't necessarily about the money. It was about winning trophies, and there was money involved too. Yeah, there was, but it was all one category, and so I had my mom already in the powwow world, I guess, and so she taught me how to she taught me moves. She taught me how to balance what you do on this side, you do on this side. She taught me songs. She taught me trick songs. She taught me when this lead goes like this and then this drops. You know, she would try to explain it to me. And so I was almost getting schooling on how powwowing works. Like, make sure you're shaking hands. Don't be acting backwards. Make sure you go say hi. Like, I was getting the full like, and I'm like, they don't remember me. She's like, go anyway. They'll remember you when you walk away. They'll say, who is that? You know? And so, or go out there and dance. Don't be walking around. If you're going to walk around in Grand Entry, then just walk off. Nobody wants to see you walking around. So that's a kind of like mom I grew up with. Like, and then, you know, also my biggest fan with powwow dancing since I was a tiny tot into juniors, into teens. And I remember in juniors, she would, if she didn't have the means or she, you know, like she was going to be doing her own thing for the weekend, I'd go with different families from Standing Rock. And this was before cell phones. This is like pay phones, calling cards. And so I was like, gee, just let me go to powwows all by myself. Just give her $75 and let her fend for herself for the weekend. I guess I really had to grow up fast, and I never knew what that meant. Probably until like maybe a few years ago. I was like, I don't think I had to grow up fast. Like, I was kind of in denial about that, but that's how powwows were incorporated in my life. And I just continued dancing because it provided for me a lot of times, especially as a teenager, and it helped me choose to rise above the influence. And then also like those were a lot of my family there when I go to powwows. And then when I became an adult, I kept involved in the powwow world because I loved it so much. It's my way of life.
Hey, no, for sure, for sure. So like while you're doing all this, like it sounds like you're growing up like real fast, like, you know, like 15, 16, like you said, having to fend for yourself and do all that. Is this where like your comedy starts to like come into play? Like I know you pretty much like started videos on the powwow trail, right? Like that was your thing, was to
Yeah.
like make the videos while you're doing powwow and just kind of like do it for the laughs. Is that where it came? Like that's where the early influences of it came, like being powwow, but also a little bit about like your day-to-day life and how you were living?
I think a lot of I think it came after my 2-year, or it was the ending of my 2-year degree in criminal justice. I was going to school at Standing Rock, or Sitting Bull College, which is in Standing Rock, and the district is 48. And so when I was in college, I was like, what is my purpose? Like I was getting mad, you know? I
Yeah.
was like, what am I supposed to be doing? Is this what I'm going to do? Am I really going to go and be a cop or a probation officer? I was like getting mad, and I had to really like go through my childhood and ask myself, what was I good at? Like, what am I good at? I don't even know what I'm good at. And one of the things I remember is like my 6th grade teacher putting a white paper on everyone's desk, Miss Pollock, and she was like, everyone grab a marker and go to everyone's desk except your own and write something nice about that person. And my best friend Coco, she got like cute and girly and stylish and beautiful, and you know, and I was like this tomboy, and all I cared about basketball. And I looked at mine, and my paper was like goofy, all crazy, funny, loud, you know. And then I was mad. I was like, gee, I wanted what my best friend had. I wanted all those things. But it helped me when I was in college, trying to navigate, trying to look like, what am I good at? And then it reminded me that I'm good at making people laugh. And I'm like, okay, I could work with that. And so that's when I started doing videos. I was like, I don't see a lot of female comedians out there. I don't see a lot of our indigenous, or I don't see a lot of our First Nations or people doing videos out there, and they're embarrassing, like the beginning of my videos, and I don't know the freaking password to that account, so I can't delete them. And I'm just like, oh my god, like those videos, like I didn't know how to edit. I had like some kind of flip camera my mom got me for Christmas. Like it was all sticky probably because my girl got juice on it, and I was just trying my best. They would be recording me. They were like 4 and 5, and I'd be getting mad at them, like, hurry up, record me. Oh, do it again. Let's do it again. You know, and they're probably so sick of, probably happy I have this ring light right now, because now they've grown up as me being a comedian now, and me being mom being funny. But again, I want to like acknowledge my girls, because without me having them on my back in college, I wouldn't have worked against this fear of like failure. I probably wouldn't have even tried comedy, but every time I like look down, they're always looking up to me, and I was like, I gotta do something great here. If I'm gonna be like telling them when they're, when I'm parenting them to follow their dreams, like, why I gotta follow mine? And that was really hard to do, because the safe life for me was get a degree, use it, and then you're safe, and you have a 401k, and like you have like retirement plan. But I didn't want to do that, and so that's how my whole comedy idea came about, and doing videos.
Yeah. Me and Ray are kind of in the same boat right now. Like as far as school goes, like I have one more semester left, so I'm just gonna graduate just so I have like a mattress to fall on. You know what I mean? In case this podcast stuff doesn't work. But like as far as this pod stuff goes, we're diving in head first for it. And we're seeing how far it takes us, right? Because we want to take that risk. You never know if you don't do it. I don't want to be like 40 years old looking back, and I'm just like, damn, what do you think would have happened if we like went through that, right? So we're in it, and I'm so happy that you're following your dream too, because we don't have enough of that. We have a lot of people just following the status quo. That's all they do. They want to live that normal life. They want security. They want to have their pension plan. They want to get their mortgage. And like, personally, I could never live that life. It's too boring for me. Like, I don't even like staying home a lot. Like my parents call me Four Winds because I just go where the wind takes me, right? So, no, yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. No, I gotta ask you too, Tonia. Like just from us asking a question. Did you know like right away, like because we kind of felt that too, like we were like, all right, we're onto something, but we didn't know what it was. Did you know like right away that like the making videos and doing what you're doing was gonna like lead you into comedy and where you're at, or was it just kind of like it just started like I was just making people laugh, and comedy is making people laugh. It kind of just happened like that. How did it happen?
Well, I wanted a huge reason why I wanted to like make people laugh was because I wanted to help our people heal. And I was trying to think more than that though, before even the comedy part. I was like, we need facilities to help our people with mental health. We need to help our people heal through the boarding school trauma, the historical trauma, the intergenerational trauma, historical trauma, like everything. I was trying to figure out how I could be a part of that. And so when I started doing videos, even though I was only making people in my community in Sioux Village laugh and getting a few likes, like when that happened, when I'd go to, and I was living on the res, when I'd go to the post office, and everyone knows everyone there, like White Buffalo, and when someone said, holy son, real crazy, seen your video, and I'd be like, huh. It was like something like hitting my heart, like, oh, you liked it? And I realized that, the people around me in my community, a lot of us were like hurting or going through things. And when I was able to make them laugh, I was doing my part. So it was like it wasn't about the follows or the likes or anything like that, I didn't even think that far into it. Like, I'm going and I'm trying to like get famous. Like, it really wasn't about that. Like, every video I was, when I started doing comedy, I was actually on my way out of a very abusive relationship. And so this was actually a really positive outlet for me, for my voice to be heard the way it was never heard before, the way it used to be heard, but I lost it for 5 years, you know. And so when every video that I was doing, yeah, I was like, I'm on to something, like, it's making me feel good. And, you know, and at the same time, people were supporting me in my community. There was a lot of people who weren't too. And that was hard. And people used to say, you got to have tough skin. I was like, I don't know what that means. Don't like this.
Yo, actually, funny story. Is you three ever meet up somewhere without knowing each other? Powell, man. So funny story. I know Tonia probably doesn't remember, but I remember. So I went to Gone this. So I went to Gone this one year, right? And I think it was like 2016, 2015 maybe. I was at Gone, and A Tribe Called Red was having a concert. And like I was just like dancing around, and I was recording, and like somebody's doing the robot beside me, and I look, and it's like Tonia Joe Hall, just like full roboting out, and like I recorded myself, and I record her beside me, and then I record myself again, and like I uploaded that, and I was like, holy shit, I met Tonia Joe Hall.
That's her only move.
Yeah, I have the video somewhere. I'll send it to you later when I find it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's hilarious, man. No, so like you're saying, you come into community, people are like feeling you, but people aren't like also feeling you. What's that like to like deal with both sides? Like, and do you ever feel like I don't know, just in my own situation, sometimes it's like hard to like focus on the positive when people are like, yo, like your shit's popping, you guys are doing good, like everything, keep going. But there's like one person that just like, it just rubs you the wrong way, in a way that like positivity can't help you. You're just like, bro, like just sit down and like shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, what do you do? Like what in those situations, like how did you handle it? Like, did you just get thicker skin, or has it always like, will it always still bother you?
I think with everything, like, we almost learn from doing the wrong thing to start leading us to do what really works for us. And so I would argue back. I cuss a lot. Like, it's not just my character. And so sometimes when I'm around people and I'm like, fuck or shit, then they're like, oh, gee, I didn't know you cuss. Like, gee, don't be cussing. And I'm like, as if I cuss all the time. You know, I try to quit for a few years on my daughter's behalf, but like, and just listen to country and try not to listen to any like real rank hip hop or trap music, but that didn't work out. And so it's like, just accept me for cussing. But, I would like, not only would I would just go, I would a lot of us are people, we revert to anger right away. Like, holy, I just like get hot-headed and angry and argue them and tell them, try to prove my point. And then I'd feel bad later and then be probably crying like, geez, I don't like arguing, you know. But, and so I would revert to that. I would immediately argue and immediately get mad. And then I would tell my people, and then they would go and especially my mom. My people was probably just my mom at that time. But she would get mad. Some of my Hunka sisters, we would all be mad together and just talking about that person, because we knew who that person or these people were from my community. And then it just like, when that was happening, it was starting to repeat itself. And so as the process went along, I had to learn that I don't like being mean back to them. It hurts my own feelings later when I'm laying in bed. Like, I'd literally feel so bad for like firing back. Like, they're firing at me almost like a gun, and then I immediately like have mine loaded and I'm firing back. And then I'm just sitting there in gun smoke like, gee, that was mean to me. Like, you know? And so I had to learn that I don't want to argue back, that I want to block them or delete them right away. Block and delete them, and that I don't want them to have access to me, whoever it is. And but I would get hurt. I reverted to anger, then it turned into sadness next. I would get emotional. And then I had to decide. Now, the more I grew with my doing videos, the more I was growing, the more self-development I was doing, the more I was listening to motivation and seeing how, okay, well, how does these famous people do it? How do they handle it? Or what are they listening to? What books are they reading? I wanna educate myself enough to understand like what's happening here, because I never really understood. Well, that person's probably going through something. It's like, nay, well, don't be trying to take it out on me, you know.
Yeah.
And I'd be mad about it and like tell him to go over there. Just like we talked about, Ray, like crabs in a bucket, like I would always revert back to that and be so mad, like can never rise here on the res because everyone wants to pull you down. Just mad. But now, obviously how many years into it, I have a small circle of people who love me. And those people who love me, instead of facing in towards me in my circle, they actually face out. And when they're facing out and somebody's trying to come at me and they don't have access to me, they'll go to one of my people, one of my sisters, one of my, and they'll say something, or they might see somebody being mean about me. And what they'll do is they'll defend my honor, and then they won't tell me. And that's the way I want it. I don't want to hear about who's talking about me or who don't like me. Like, I know who my people are. I know who my 7 people are. And that's all I need. And, I'll treat people good, but the immediate, that the closer knit I have my people, the better for me, because they protect me and they love me. And I realize not a lot of people have access to me, and that's okay.
Cool.
Hey, that's
Yo,
so dope.
Ray, bro, how about you? How have you been dealing with it lately?
Bro, you know what? Like basically what Tonia's saying, but like more like straight, like mine, it takes a lot longer. So like before, I would just like not care about anything. But I feel like that comes along with like getting sober and stuff like that too, and like starting to deal with your problems, and like Tonia said, like looking towards yourself first, right? So when you're looking towards yourself first, then everything becomes like real quick. So I'm like, yo, like now I'm thinking like, oh man, like people don't like me or people don't like what we're doing. Like, how could you not like what we're doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't come at this to like from an ego perspective. It's like, there's a bigger purpose to what we're doing right now. Even with you, like, just like, it's dope to like hear what you went through, so we know how to like cope. You know what I'm saying? And we're kind of like, it's cool to know like we're on the right track slowly, and we're gonna get to where you're at and like bounce away. But sometimes it's like, yeah, man, it just gets to the point where I'm like, bro, like for what? Why would you want to do this, bro? Like there's so much more time and energy and like good shit out there. Like there is if you can find something that's genuinely good about pretty much anything if you're looking for it. But you can also find like the negativity and the bullshit just as quick. And unfortunately, I'm not capable of always just going straight to the positivity. So I just get mad. Yeah, I'm just like, yo, F them. Like, I don't want to hear it. Like, why are you hating on us? Like, but then I just take that step back from myself, and I'm like, yo, like, it's not even worth it to argue with somebody anymore, man. Like, if you got that opinion of me, bro, keep it. Like, that's on you. So I would say that's what it is. But it sounds like, Tonia, like you've gotten to the point a little like more. River, like, what do you think too, bro? Are you like in the same, like, I know you personally, so I know that you're like, yo, River's like, yo, F that. Like, I'm like, F them kind of quietly. River's like not shy to be like, yo, screw these people, man. Like,
Yeah.
which is dope.
No, seriously, bro. It's like, it sounds like gonna say something, bro. I'm like, man, fuck all that shit. Sorry, mom, if you're watching, but like, yo, for real though, man, because like, it took me a while to figure out that like everything that everybody says about me is a reflection of who they are, and what they say about me tells me the story about them more than they will ever find out about me. They don't know about me. They only see the surface. Like, this podcast is just a side you'll see of me. They're never gonna know the full story of who I am. So like, I never really have any problems dealing with the negativity. Sometimes I just like, I look at it, I'm just like, shit, again. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But on a positive, bro, I was on my way home yesterday. I was gassing up at in Saskatoon, and some dude's like, yo, keep it up, foxing around. Like, oh, word? I was like, no way. And Xander was there with me, and then we got in the car, and he's like, I'm glad I got to experience that with you. That's the first time that happened. And I was like, word, let's go. So yeah, man, this is a
Come pump my gas then. Took
Yo.
advantage.
Yo, for real. Yeah, make sure you get the windows too, bro. Please, please, please. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta check my oil. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when you start asking for shit. Huh?
That's really exciting that happened, and that's gonna be happening for you guys, because that I felt like really shy. Like it was easy for me to do videos, but I know people like, oh, you get nervous, or oh, you get overwhelmed, and like, yeah, like my videos are literally like art, or literally like me like making a plan on how I want to do this video, and then when people come up to me, sometimes it's like I'm overwhelmed, and I had to learn how to like breathe through things, because I would like get anxiety and have to hold my breath, and then I'd have imposter syndrome, like I'm just like you, like you don't have to treat me like any better. Like I would like start like talking like that in my head, and I had to really work through that and say like it's okay, they're just loving you, they're trying to be nice to you, like let them and accept it. And so I was like, okay. I had to really work on that though. It took time.
No cap. I want to
Yeah.
know. Oh, go ahead, River.
I just want to know how you deal with like coming out of your shell, and like, because the like doing the videos is one thing, but like going out in public and doing all this stuff is like, how do you navigate that?
At the beginning I didn't. I just like was like going like on a bike downhill, and I was like, yeah, hey everyone. And so like I was like, yeah, you're my friend, how you doing? Like I was running for a counselor or something, and so I wasn't like, I was so open, you know, like young and like, this is so fun, like. And so I was like, I thought I had to be what I was on my videos, like I have to show them what they're seeing, that's what I gotta be. So I was like, I had an expectation on myself, I had to be that. But I think over the years, every time I was doing it, like I was having to learn like it's okay to be crabby. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be overwhelmed right now. And when I started to like, if somebody came up to me and I was hungry, and and that's another thing, I had to work through being hangry, like hungry and angry. And I'd be a jerk, you know, and I'd be like, but not, I wouldn't though, to people who came up to me. It wasn't them, it was me. And I'd be like telling my girls, like, I'm hungry. And they'd be like, well, tell them you don't want to take a picture. I'm like, I have to. You know, I'd be mad, and they'd be getting the brunt of it. And so they would be speaking the truth to me. Well, then get something to eat. Then why didn't you eat? And I'm like, I don't know. But I think a part of me was taking care of myself, making sure I'm fed, making sure I got enough rest when I know I'm going to go out and be around a lot of people, making sure I'm putting like a protection over myself, whether it's like a yellow light or a bubble, making sure I'm smudging, making sure I'm keeping like a protection in my pocket. So it's like guarding me, because, you know, people will touch my hair or like touch, they're just really like, there's like, it's hard to say like, hey, don't let's not touch each other. Like I'm just now working on that. Like I'll just stand here, or I'll have to like back up and like no, and tell them no now. But I didn't know how to say no. I didn't know no was healthy. And so it's just all about like sticking up for yourself and like not having expectations on yourself. And I'm still not fully out of where you just said, you know, like the uncomfortableness. Like even being on this podcast, my heart is like racing, and I'm like, be yourself, it's okay, be yourself. Like even I had talked about with you guys prior about like how I grew up, and that has been like new, getting in the depth of that. And so there's still things I'm continually working on. I'm not like completely where I want to be. And I think that's the best part about like self improvement, self development, and self care and self love, is it's continual. So when you take care of one thing, like maybe that anxiety, something else will come. But with everything that comes, there's always a balance of good. And so I'm getting to like finally be myself now. And I was like, I have to do what the people expect me to do. You guys don't know how this is. Like I'd be mad, like I have to go make them laugh, and I'm not laughing right now, you know. And a lot of comedians, they get depressed, and I refuse to do that. And had to like continually fight through, like when I was losing someone, a death, or something was happening in my family, or anything, like any hardships that I go through, I would push out a video so that it could help me too. And so, shoot, a lot of times I was like hurting and struggling. And so finally in my life, I'm learning I don't have to do a video if I don't feel like it.
Yeah. Does like you're talking about like expectations. Does that ever like get like buggy too? Cause I'm like, yo, like sometimes even already people are like asking for stuff, and just like friends I know, like people that are influencers, or when they do things, they're like, yo, like share this, do this, take a picture with me, stop here, do this. Sometimes you ever just like, yo, like I need to take this. Like, I guess that's what you were kind of like alluding to with saying no, but is it like, yo, like you gotta chill out? Like I bet people even ask you for money, like people think you're rich, like shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously, I'm like, I need a financial advisor too. No, that's a good point. I feel like it's boundaries. Like I'm literally feel like I'm just now in this past year learning what boundaries are, and even having to Google it or listen to a video, because there's so much self-development and self-help videos out there. I have to like, what is a boundary? How do you put up a boundary? How do you have privacy? You can have privacy. I didn't grow up with that. Like I can lock my door. Is it? Oh yeah, it's my house, huh? Oh yeah, like, or like I could say no, I don't want to hang out. Like, oh, okay. Somebody wants me to tell them happy birthday. I don't have to. Like, oh, okay. Like I'm just now realizing like that it's supposed to be about me and my but it wasn't ever about me until like this past year. And that's really because I just started loving myself. Like, and I literally Googled that last January, like, how do you love yourself? And there was like exercises and practices and I am affirmations, and they talk about meditation. And meditation doesn't have to be just sitting still. It could be like, I'm in meditation when I'm dancing. And all these are tools. Like, and I was like, I had a tool belt on, and people would give me their tools and say, this is how you do it. But I have a tool belt now, like with my own tools in it and my own practices. And saying no has really helped me. And then focusing in on my like immediate relationships and working on them, like with my mom, working on a relationship with her has been like healing for not just her, but healing for me and healing for my girls. And that's when that generation does that healing, it will collapse on the next. Just like negatives get dropped down, like positives do too. And so it's just been all about like loving myself, and then I stick up for myself more. And I was like, geez, I really have been like allowing people to be like, look over here. Oh, okay, do this. Look over here. Here, grab this. Like, I wasn't even in control of like myself this whole time. And so that made me sad when I realized like how much I was letting the people control me, when this is my gift. So I get to do and show it and share it the way I want.
Yeah. And no, that's just another COVID blessing. And I'm sure like everybody has one positive to take away from what happened the last year. And you found self-love, you got your boundaries. And I'd imagine being isolated all the time helps out too, probably, right?
Yeah, it does. It really does. That definitely does. And also like a small practice is I don't have to answer back texts. I don't have to, and starting with my family, because family feels like you need to answer me. Maybe there's some people in your family or some of your friends. That's a small practice for me. Like, or I don't have to answer somebody's phone or a phone call right away because I'm taking care of myself. Like, nah, not even busy. You're probably just watching Netflix. Like, answer your phone. And I had to realize like they're trying to guilt me, and understanding what's the difference between real guilt and unreal guilt. And guilting is lying, stealing, cheating. This is unreal guilt. So what I'm feeling is like obligated. Okay, I don't have to do that then. I am gonna like put my phone over here and continue to watch this because this is actually fun to me. I like doing this, And so really dividing things and really looking into them.
I never knew that either. I never knew there was a thing between real guilt and unreal guilt.
Mm-hmm.
But that's cool to know. I'm gonna use that now next time when I'm, especially when I'm playing Xbox, right? Like yeah, man, Xbox
Yeah,
makes me
you
happy
like to do it,
sometimes.
right? You
Yeah,
love to do
yeah.
it.
So I'm just like slough everybody for the day.
And that's important. I think that's a lot of times, like, people, when we're loving what we do, it's important for our people around us to not guilt us, and it's important for us to use our voice. So I'm in the process of like teaching my older girl to use her voice, because she lets me and my younger girl, baby Beatrice, she lets us say whatever we want to her. Like, Safra, you should do this. Safra, you should do that. Like, earlier we were skiing and and they were snowboarding, and Lolly was like, "You're done snowboarding?" And she was like, this is how Lolly was talking with baby Beatrice. "You're done snowboarding? Geez, mom spent a lot of money on this. You should go snowboarding a little bit longer." And she was like, I don't like the way sister was talking to me. So I don't want to go snowboarding anymore. I was like, okay, Safar, you're going to have to start telling her how you feel and what's in your mind. 'Cause you're thinking it, but you're not saying it. Like, I don't like the way you're talking to me. I don't like your tone. She's like, yeah, but I just don't like arguing. You and her, you end up arguing me. And I'm like, but if you call us out, that's our only way to learn. If you're mirroring us and saying, I don't like how you're treating me. I don't like the words. We need that from you in order for us to grow, and individually and stronger as like a hochoka, like a circle. And so it's important that even you loving to play games, and that your people around you know, I like to do this. Give me 2 hours. That's all I ask in my day. That's what
Or
I
eight.
Yeah, however long.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh, good.
no, that's a good thing too, is how, like, I notice people always go to the extremes of either one side or the other. And like when you're talking about how like they want to avoid like arguments, like you can still respectfully tell somebody no, you can still talk to somebody about issues without having these arguments all the time. And a lot of people don't understand that. Like you have to be able to regulate your emotions and tell others how you feel, and they should be able to understand that not everything has to be an argument. And so many people avoid that because they're afraid of arguments, but it doesn't have to. Like, I'd encourage, if something is bothering one of my friends, just to come tell me, and I'll be like, okay, well, sorry, what can I do to make this better, right? And like that's the number one thing that I feel that we have to work on. And it's maybe it's like a intergenerational trauma thing why we don't do that. Who knows exactly what it is, but I noticed that's very, very prevalent, especially amongst many First Nations people.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the silent treatment right away, and that turns into silent abuse. I feel like I'm glad that you talked about emotional regulation, because that's actually something in this past month that I have been looking up and studying, and like, oh, I haven't been emotionally regulating myself. Oh, okay. So and teaching my girls that again, and my girl Lolly was upset one day, and I was like, Lolly, every time I tell you no, I don't like to, because then your eyes get all watery, then I'm worried about you crying. She's like, these are my feelings. Don't try to like take on my feelings. She's like, these are mine. I gotta feel these. I'm like, dang, you just freaking are teaching me here. I'm teaching you this information and you're using it on me. Like it.
Yeah, they sound woke. So like it seems like from what you're saying, like one is like pretty much your like little clone, and then the other one seems like a little bit different and a little bit like almost your opposite. How is that to like?
Probably like your dad.
Yeah, she is a lot like her dad, which is a healthy co-parenting relationship that we had to work really hard on. But she does have the personality of her dad, and we talk about that because she is more reserved and quiet in our home, but out of our home she's outgoing at school. And we live in the city, so they go with predominantly all white kids, you know. And so she's really outgoing and like talkative and has lots of friends. But when she comes home, she's kind of like quiet, and she's kind of coming out of her shell now, because I keep encouraging her to use your voice, my girl. Even if I don't like it or your sister don't like it, like, we have to hear it. I was like, because we know how to talk, but you're teaching us how to listen. And so it's a balance. It's a good balance of we both of them, they have so much positives that they continue. My kids teach me all the time, and so that's why I say, like, no matter how old we are, no matter how young we are, like, we're always here to learn and teach. And it doesn't matter if they're kids. And I think that's one thing that I learned from the elders too, is like that the young kids, they tell the truth. And so when they're telling me something, and that took time too in my self-development to get feedback, constructive criticism. I was like, nah, trying to tell me how to live, trying to tell me how to be. Nah, you don't know me. Like that right away. I try to be like, oh, it was the worst. Like, I already know. None of you have to tell me how to live my life. I already know. I already got this far. Like, I was listening to what you had to say to me. That was me. And so when my girls are some of the main ones who tell me things that I'm doing. I don't like it when you're doing that, or you're doing this, or your tone sounds like this. And so it's important for the people in our lives to continually be like correcting you, at the same time balancing that words of affirmation and the other four love languages to you. I think that's really important to have people in your circle like that.
Yeah, no, and that's such a good thing too. To like break that cycle, because I'd imagine you as well. Like, this happened with me. Like, growing up, you were always told to never question an adult, that the adult was always right, and that like
Yep.
whenever said something, you just did it, and like you never really had a voice with adults. Like, the kids sat with the kids, they had their voice then. The adults sat with the adults, they had their voice, but then they also spoke to the kids, and whatever they said goes, like, all the time. And that's really cool, seeing that like you're breaking that cycle with your kids, where you're allowing to face, you're allowing yourself to face criticism from your children. You're allowing yourself to learn from that, and accepting that you're not perfect, you're not the perfect parent, but at least you're acknowledging that, like, hey, I'm not perfect, but there's always room for growth. At least I'm growing. At least my children are keeping this, and they see whatever I'm doing. It may not always be right, and they're not afraid to correct me. That's very cool to hear, because that's something that I noticed happened a lot, like in my childhood growing up, is just like seeing adults. They would just always like, you even look at it as like with people you don't even know. Like, an adult will be super, super disrespectful and rude to you just because you're a young teen, you're a child, and you're like, you're like, don't treat me like that. Like, you try speak up, you're like, don't say that to me or whatever. And like, a lot of times you wouldn't even say anything because you're so used to adults speaking and you not talking, that you wouldn't stand up for yourself. And like, a lot of them would just like, they take advantage of that. They'd boss you around, especially like going to like round dances and stuff. They'd be like, do it this way, do this, and like, you wouldn't want to speak up a lot of the time. You'd just be like, okay, and you do it even though that you know it's wrong, because you know that you can't tell an old head something. You know what I mean? Like, you can't tell an old head how to treat you or whatever, because that's probably what they were taught, and that comes from probably the residential school generation, with adults telling them. So they're doing that to you, and it's cool to see you yourself, you're breaking that curse, so your children are going to have healthier relationships with their children. And it's such a cool like cycle just to see, right? It's super, super interesting.
No doubt. I would say too, man, like, I remember in my like childhood and youth, my dad would do a lot of what you're doing now, Tonia. Like, he'd be like, yeah, never be afraid to speak up for yourself. Tell people things, use your voice, be proud and strong of who you are. So I used to rub a lot of adults like the wrong way. You know what I mean? People thought like I was disrespectful because I wouldn't let somebody, just because they were older than me, tell me things that I thought were disrespectful. I'd be like, no, man. Like, and the best part is like, you can just go, well, you can go tell my dad that, and my dad would have my back all the time. Like, he would never like drop the ball and be like, no. Like, he'd be like, he wouldn't tell me to go say sorry. He'd be like, well, what happened? And I'd be like, yo, dad, like, this guy was being disrespectful, or like he wasn't respecting me as a person either. And my dad would be like, man, I'm so proud of you for standing up. And like, he would never like make me go apologize or like try to, don't worry about being the bigger person. Like, he was just raising me to be the right person. person. So to hear that from your side too, and like especially like I think it's important too. Like you seem like you're really empowering your daughters, and I think that's something that like I want to actually explore this a little bit more because I think it might come from like, and you know, I'm just kind of grasping a little bit, but like when you're doing comedy, right? Like comedy is like a straight up like male dominated like place, right? Like it's hard for a woman to break in. It's probably even harder for like an indigenous woman to break in. So like people are probably just like mad, like salty and afraid of you when you're like, you know, when you're trying to break on the stage, right? Like old men, they're just like they're hating on you. Yeah. So
there
it's
were
like
some of the first like critics, like some POW announcers. I remember one POW announcer in particular. He came up to me after I got done doing a show at my at Four Bears Casino at a Christmas party. He came up to me and he was like, "You're that's pretty good what you're doing, but you're very disrespectful to all the elders. All the elders are talking about you, and you're disrespectful." And then after that, I cried and I was cussing him out in my head and in my car on the way back, you know? And then I had to realize, like, wait a minute, I'm his competition here.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, even like looking back growing up, man, like you know how you said I have no filter, Ray. Like, I remember this one time, this one lady was like, "Oh, you're so ugly like your dad," and I was like 5 years old, and I was like, "Oh, it's okay. At least I don't have an ugly haircut." Because apparently she had an ugly haircut. Like, I don't know. My mom never lets me forget that story because she like grabbed me by the mouth and like walked with me away. But yeah, no. So like being in like a male dominated, I guess, workforce, like how do you navigate it too? Is like, do you get a lot of support from males, especially like your age, or is it a lot of younger people supporting you, a lot of older? Because I'm sure like whatever you do, people aren't gonna be happy, and I'm sure a lot of older people are gonna find something wrong with what you do. So like, how do you do it, and like who really has your back? Like, what's your fan base mainly?
Probably 24 to 35. Nay, just looked at the statistics on her Snapchat.
The algorithm.
No, you know what? To be honest, a lot of like, a lot of like grandmas and aunties like have my back. Like, a lot of like the crabbiest, like they're like, "Gee, she's really crabby. She really likes you." Like, it's always like the most like rankest grandmas and aunties that have been having my back, and then they tell their people like, "You need to hire her. She's good. She's telling." I was thinking that same thing, and she said it. That's just the way I would have said it. She said it just like, "Fucking listen," like that. And so like, I was surprised because I bringing that character out, Auntie Beatrice, like man, that was like, there was a lot of people like against me, unfollow me, I'm not gonna give you this job because you cuss, I'm not like, and I would have to defend myself. And luckily, like, I grew up like a lot like you were saying, Ray, like, but I also grew up, both of you, like, with my mom. My mom taught me, you use your voice, you stand up for yourself, you say what you believe in, and it doesn't matter if they're older than you. Like, you stick up for yourself, because at the end of the day, that's all you have, is you have yourself. And so I'm like, okay. And then also my aunties and my grandmas, they were a lot like how you were saying, don't ask why, don't be disrespectful. And they would go back to my mom and tell her, she is disrespectful, she just sassy, she just says anything she wants to us. And when my mom would be like your dad, like, well, what did you say to her? Let's go. Like, my mom would take off her glasses. Like, that was my mom. Like, she was always down to like fight. Like, she was like, oh, you know what, Tonia? If anyone's mean, those girls are mean to you at school, just go into them and push them. Just fucking push them, Tonia. Don't be scared. She was kind of pushing me. You scared? I'm like, yeah. Be scared. If her mom gets involved, I'll get involved. You know, that's the kind of like, I grew up with that. So I like had no filter. And so again, that came into my advantage for comedy, because I'm like, well, and I guess to go back to your question, like, who supports you? It is a lot of older women. Like, it is a lot of women that are supporting me that say like, we needed that. We need you to say that. We need you to stick up for us. We need you to, you know what? They'll give me stories to share too. Tell them this story, and then I'll have a teaching behind it. Like maybe a woman's getting called a psycho. Like, oh, you hear that a lot with the men, but you don't hear the other side. Oh, and he wants to call me psycho. Oh, he thinks I'm a psycho. Let me tell you what he did. Pull out that paper, and then read everything. So like that's the missing piece that I've been incorporating. And so when I do that, the women are like, yes, thank you. Finally. They just talk about us all they want. And, like somebody needs to tell them our side. And so that's really like what I'm doing. And with my piece of comedy and even motivation, but I'm really grateful for a lot of the male comedians who are Native, because they're really kind and they're gentle with me, and they support me. And I mean to my face, I don't know anything besides that, but that's good too, So I mean, that's
No doubt. That's what I'm thinking too. Is like there's gotta like I said, not to like draw on the negative or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I could easily see how like you're intimidating to some like men that are like trying to also do what you're doing, or like just trying to be funny, or like trying to be important, because you're like, like people get really afraid of like, if you're not comfortable with yourself as a person and as a man. I feel like it's the easiest thing to do to like be like, yo, this girl's speaking up for herself. Oh, she's making jokes about us too, even though men for like the longest time have always made the jokes about women. Like it's always the jokes about women. So it's like,
especially the old heads, bro.
Yeah, especially the old guys, man. They're like in that generation where it's like still funny to like laugh about like domestic abuse, or like like things that like you don't like are like they're touchy, but like really getting into it and like making women feel like it's their fault, that like shit like that. And it's like, so that must be like a weird like line you walk with comedy too, because you're like, how do I put this? You're like Robin Hood for the women. You know what I'm saying? Like starting to like bring them back up and be like, yo, like, all right, you guys had your fun. Like it's our turn. And like, you could be ranker than them and more funny, and like just get them back, man. So like I could see how, there's probably some dudes that are like, yo, like I'm scared of her. I like intimidated of what you're doing. So
no.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, that's a crazy thing too. It's just like how hypercritical men are of women's actions, like all the time. You know what I mean? Like if you look at a guy doing something, it's just like, oh, he's just expressing himself. But then whenever it's a woman, they always have to put the word like woman beside like crazy. You know what I mean? It's like it's like women, like they're their own individual people too. It's and it's like it's like if a man speaks up for himself, says no, whatever, he's a leadership and he's charismatic. Same thing. If you put a woman in a workplace who speaks up for herself, who says no, and then that woman is like problematic, and that she doesn't see things the way that they are fit. And that's the very problematic thing that I've seen, especially from the older generations, just how much men just want to put all these women in one box all the time. But like but then they judge males individually. That's the thing that I picked up the most, I guess, growing up, is just like seeing that, and that's something that has to change without a doubt.
No cap. Tonia, what's it like when you're like doing like, okay, so you start with videos and you're just like messing around a little bit, right? Like, and like doing videos, and then all of a sudden you're like moving into comedy, and then you're like up on stage. Like instead of like just a video where you can just upload it, do you ever like bomb out or just be like super nervous on stage when you get up there and like have to entertain people that are watching you?
I could think, I mean, that was always something that I was being told by the veteran, like,
what happened?
Just wait. You're on mute. Hold up. You can talk now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Hey, nobody even calls me, but when I'm on a show.
Yeah. That's funny. All right, yeah. Tell us a little bit about like so when you're doing like the comedy shows and stuff like that, and like actually getting up out on stage. Is that like you ever get chilled? You ever like be like, oh damn, it's different than just making a video?
Hold on, I think can you repeat that? Sorry, it was kind of cutting out.
Hey, that's all good. Okay, so I'm saying like when you're like you transition from like starting to like do a little bit of like videos and comedy to like a full-on comedy act on stage. Like does
Yeah.
that like is it like nerve-wracking when you like first started doing that, or is it still nerve-wracking like trying to entertain like a room full of people?
Yeah, that I mean, I started out as me first, like doing comedy as myself, and I'd go and practice around the res or whoever was willing to listen to me for 5 minutes on what I had. But when I stepped into Beatrice and I started kicking out these videos, and I was like going into this character, I was like, and then doing those videos from going on stage, I was like, holy, this is like way better than doing videos. Because you can immediately like feel it was like nerve wracking though. You know what? I'd honest to God, I would throw up right before. I'd be like, and I'd be like, okay, I'm good. And then I'd go on stage. Like I've been involved with Ladies of Native Comedy like for 2 or 3 years. And they'd be like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I just got to throw up really quick. And they're like, is that normal? I'm like, yeah, I guess so far it's been like, I'm so scared I get anxiety so bad I wouldn't go out. You know how people organizers invite you to like, let's have lunch or I want to get to know you. And I'd be like, no, thanks. Like, I can't. I know. I'd lay in bed and I'd be like, like that, like freaking out by myself. Like, and I'd be like, and I'd like be rolling up in a ball and I'd be like, I don't want to do this. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Like, why did I choose to go on stage? Like, I sucked in speech in college. Like, here I am. Okay. You're gonna get paid. That'd be good. Like, I'd just be like freaking out by myself in the room. That took time. Like, I don't even know how long it took, but what helped me is like breathing exercises, like holding my breath, like count 5, breathe in and hold it on the top, and then exhale. Like, literal breathing exercises and looking up what other people do for anxiety. And it was all really fear. It was really my fears of failing and not being funny. And so once I got in the groove of like going on stage more and more and more, I still get nervous, but it's not, I don't throw up, like, and that's okay. Like I had to work through that, but I still get nervous. I still get like, but it's more like exciting nervous. Like I'm like, I can't wait to get up there. I'm so scared. But once I'm out there, I'm like, literally, like before I go on stage, like there's times I'm like, like I'm under my sunglasses. I have my Beatrice sunglasses. Like, I'll be like that because I can feel all of the energy that everyone there is giving. And when I come on stage as Auntie Beatrice and they scream, it's like, is this real life? Like, I dress up and like fuck around, and people like from all over the nations, they want me to like act like Auntie Beatrice, and then I like have to like, okay, you're okay, this is good, like, because I'm really feeling their love. And then I go out there, and then the magic happens. I say magic because when you're standing out there by yourself, it's like stepping into like and putting yourself in the most vulnerable position you could amongst everyone's eyes. Like, they can judge you, they can think anything of you, they can think you're not funny, they can think you're bombing, they can think everything about you, and you have nothing to do but to speak on the mic. Like, that's your only job. You have to keep on going. Somebody might be yelling at you in the crowd and heckling you, and she's not even funny, like that. And you have to come up with jokes and like on the line, like and argue them or make up a story about them and how you used to snag them or how they wanted you, and you have they have like a, what do you call it, a restraining order on them, and how'd they get in here, and then literally calling the security to come get them, but like making it a part of the show. Like, holy man, there's just a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, no doubt. And is it like, so it's like not mostly, but like do you feel more comfortable doing those like at indigenous places? Have you ever like I'm sure you get like white gigs too, like you know what I'm saying, like where you like go to like, is it a bit different? Do you have to like shape your comedy show to like white people and then for the indigenous crowd?
Yeah, that happened at Moorhead University this year or last year. I did Moorhead University and I did University of Wisconsin or something, some university in Wisconsin. Those were the most two uncomfortable shows I ever did, and I feel like I bombed on that first one, that first university. And I found what jokes work. They weren't into nasty. That was weird. I was like, you guys are in college. Like, you guys are uncomfortable. Like, I was so mad at them. I ended up like scolding them the whole time as auntie because they were like, I'm like, you guys are the nastiest ones. And they didn't like those jokes. The jokes that they liked, I had to like figure out like what works for the jokes for them and take it to the University of Wisconsin. Then I did so good at University of Wisconsin. It's always the initial like fucking up, like bombing that makes it better for the next time. But that was uncomfortable. I felt like I think I lost it. You know, I was like, after that show, I was like, I don't know if I'm funny anymore. You know?
Relatable.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you're like, no, it's not me, it's them. Like they don't get
and then
it.
that's again where my people come in, like my close circle, and they reassure me like, I'm sure you did good, or other people in the crowd telling me you did really good. I'm like, no, I didn't. And they're like, no, you did. I'm like, oh yeah. And then to recap, I forgot to add this before. When I'm feeling vulnerable, hungry, or angry, or confused, and fans come up, I put that aside, and I'm like nice to them. But then I decided to incorporate it and just talk with them and be real. Like, I'm really hungry and I'm really crabby, and they'll be like, "Oh, here's something to eat," or something, or "Oh, you want something to drink? I'll go get you something." And I'm like, really? Okay. Or want some of my lemonade or something, you know? And or I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired, I didn't get that much sleep. They're like, geez, really? And then we just like have like a real conversation. And then I realized that's all I'm really needing is to talk and to be looked at like real. So that helps me.
Yeah, like especially expressing yourself shows them that you're human too, and you're like, even though that you're some kind of superstar, that you have vulnerability too, and you're allowed to connect with them on like a more human level. And especially like when you're talking about the anxiety thing, like same with me. Like I would like playing college volleyball, I'd get the absolute worst anxiety ever before every game. And I was always thinking that, oh, I'm going to let my team down. Oh, I'm going to let my coach down. I'm going to let everybody else down. And I was thinking that I was never really in control of the situation and that I was leaving things to chance. And it wasn't until that I was, we have a therapist at my college, and I was talking to her about it. And she was like, yeah, she's like, that's normal. It's a thing. I was like, well, how do I beat it? And she said, like, just like, get down to the root of what makes you do that, and like, what is it? And like, what I found is like, where that stems from is me feeling all this weight to do good for my people, like of my community, of my First Nation. And like, if I fail them, then I feel like a failure. And that stems into other aspects of life, like playing volleyball. Like I'm letting down my team, or I'm letting down my coach because like they expect so much from me. And like I had to take a step back, and I had to realize that like, this is normal. Everybody goes through this. And she started giving me like, I guess, like coping mechanisms too for anxiety. And one, I'm going to show you one that really helped me. And it's like, nobody could ever see it. It's like, it's because, you know, when you're breathing, everybody can see you. And there's like, like one thing she said, so it's like, I'm going to explain this just because this will be on audio later for like Apple Music and stuff. But she says like, go like thumb to pinky to ring finger to middle finger to pointer finger, back and forth as fast as you can. And then that'll get rid of all of the negative thoughts, because your mind can't focus on two things at once. She said it's kind of like the left brain, right brain thing. And she said that like, once you get all of your like focus here, you'll notice you'll start focusing on this, and all those thoughts will go away. And then if you get good at this side, you do it with your left hand. And another thing she said is, multiplying with things like multiply by 7. So go like 7, 14, you know what I mean? 21. And once you get good at that, try something else and just keep your mind occupied. And when
Oh
you do
yeah,
that,
that
you,
makes a
you
lot of sense.
notice that all the negative thoughts will just disappear. And it's so weird how it happens. And that's what really helped me excel in volleyball, like in sports, especially this last year. Like I was like, man, like this is really no pressure, you know what I mean? Like I'm having fun, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I'm gonna mess up, it's all good. And then just
Yeah.
like doing these little coping mechanisms helped me so much. It's like it's crazy. It's like a 180, and like in terms of performance and everything, I feel so much better. Yeah, right.
I haven't stopped doing that since you said it. I was like, yo, this is, man, I
Right?
wasn't even
It
thinking of
is. As soon as I
Yeah.
did it, I was like, oh, it's mind clearing. Or like, I felt like laughing right away. Like, what? Where were you? I think
Yeah, no
I
doubt.
think that's a really good. I think it's a really good point that you brought up about therapists, and I like how you like talked about it like smoothly and like openly. I think that it's important because a lot of like the real and unreal guilt was like something that I learned from a therapist that I had for 3 months, and that significantly helped me like through a plateau of my growth. Like I felt stagnant, and I felt like, how come I'm not like pushing through like where I want to be? Like I had all the resources. I was educating myself continuously and filling my mind, like you said, with other things. And for me, it's audiobooks. For me, it's like listening to motivational speakers. It's listening to our ceremonial songs, like singing, like I love singing. I mean, like in the car, in the shower, or dancing, like all those things that get my mind off of like you said, what if I mess up? Or where does that come from? Trying to be like the golden child, always trying to like be the best at sports or the best at dancing or the best, just always having that high expectation. And so I really like how you talk through that, because I think a lot of people can benefit from that. And not only that, but it's okay to get a therapist for our mental health. And it's so rewarding. I want to do it again.
No, it helps out a lot, man. And I think it's important that people know that, man, you go to a therapist, I go to a therapist, like I've been to a therapist, River's been to a therapist. Like it's not something that we need to shame or that we need to be like, oh, what's wrong with you? It's like, man, I've talked to someone over the phone, or like even before like COVID, just like going to sit on someone's couch, they always got a comfy couch or like somewhere you're just like, and you just like feel the weight just come off your shoulders, and you're like, man, what am I doing? Like I had a stigma about this, like being like, oh, this isn't cool, this isn't something that like we shouldn't do this, and like just to like put that aside and go do it, man. It's rewarding, like you said, and it's something that like you can benefit from, man. And it's a really good experience if you're ready to it. Yo, I'm about to hit that book too, Tonia. It was dope that you were like, yo, check out this book, you remind me of this. So yeah, I'm about to go read the book on Russ this evening, man. But I think that's a good that's like a good coping mechanism too, is like books. What else do you do to stimulate like your mental health? Like, do you like work out? Do you go jogs? Like any like learning new things? Like what do you do?
I lift weights. Randomly I'll dance. Like
Show us your muscles.
No. Yeah, we like that one video. She shows her. Do you work out? She asked that guy, do you work out? He's like, yeah, and he's all showing his muscles. He's like, show me yours. She showed him. Big old muscles. Like, just outdid him, man. I think most of my life I was doing long distance running because my late dad, he taught me in junior high how to like run long distance, because he won 2 Honolulu marathons when he was stationed in the Marines, and he was All-American at Haskell University in cross country. And then he holds records for the steeplechase, which is like jumping over a hurdle, jumping over water, and then running. And so he holds that record still. And for the 10,000, I don't know what the 10,000 equals now, but like 10,000 meters or something.
That's crazy.
I think that's 10 kilometers.
Okay, all right. We don't go by kilometers here, so like, I believe you. Hey.
Okay.
But so running is a part of I don't have like a strict like what I do. Like I'll dance, or I'll go and lift weights, or I'll go work out with a sister, and whatever workout they're doing, it whether it's weight training or like HIIT workouts, or yoga, or there's all kinds of different yogas too. But lately I really have been like turning on YouTube and going to if you look up Acacia Red Elk, she does power yoga, or I'll try her Udi yoga, or like I try to like I'm trying to find that where my mind, my spirit, and my body are all connected, just like our power dancing. Like that's what we're doing. And so those are the things I try to incorporate for myself with movement. And lately I've been going on walks. I actually grew up playing basketball and running, so I always thought like walking's for pansies. We walk all the time. Look at these people walking. Why don't you run or jog? But now I'm like understanding, the more I'm slowing down in my life, like to focus in, to appreciate Mother Nature, to appreciate my surroundings, because I was always like preoccupied with rushing. So it's really teaching me how to slow down. And so I've been going for walks. I'm like, am I growing up?
Yeah, that's old head behavior. No, one thing I started, man, was stretching. I started like sitting down and like stretching and just like getting my because like I said, like as a high level athlete, you don't really like take care of your body as much. Like I don't take care of my body as much as I should, like with what I eat and what I do. But I always stay active. But one thing I was like, man, I'm always sore. Like my back always feels funny, or my legs are always like burning. And I'm like, yo. So the last couple of days I've been like sitting down, and like for like 15-20 minutes I just go out and like stretch my legs, my back, my arm. And it just like, man, it honestly just feels like you go to the when you go to the chiropractor and it just like freshens up your back. That's how it feels all the time now. I feel like so much lighter, man. I think that's one thing people need to do is stretch them legs out, man. Fold yourself up a bit.
I like that. That's good advice, because it doesn't have to be so rigorous. And when we're in these like organized sports, that's what it is. It's like burn yourself out till you feel the burn, like until you're sweating, you're not working. Like be crying and throwing up after, then you're working. Like, and it's like, okay, what about caring for our bodies? That's a good point. I like that. I'm gonna do that more.
Hell yeah, no doubt. All right, you ready to play a game, Tonya?
Yep, I'm nervous.
No, hey, don't worry. This is me and River's favorite game. If you don't know about it, it's called How Resi Are You, man? So we're gonna ask you a series of questions. If you say yes to more than like half of this list, then you might be pretty resi. So the first question is, have you ever cold spoon hickeys on your neck?
Yup.
Yeah, all right, that's 1 for 1. All right, next one. Do you put chips in your bologna sandwich?
If there's no mayo, got around that, so they didn't put cheese on it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
All right, dope. Next one. Have you ever gotten head lice, like bugs?
What is
Take
that?
them.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Come on, Tanya for sure had to get lice at least. All right, this is probably a yes, but does your family ever like hit you up and be like, hey, yo, I need a little bit of money so my check comes in? Like,
yeah. No more. Put up that boundary, but yep, that answer is yes.
Hey, that's dope. River, you got one?
You ever have an air mattress as a bed?
Yeah.
Weird.
All right, next one. You ever like shack up somewhere and like you didn't leave the room the entire time?
Oh no.
That's next level when they're like telling you to come out and introduce yourself even though you've been there like a month.
I got one. I think this one might only be like local, or else I was a weird kid as hell. But did you ever put like tin foil on your teeth and act like you had grills?
Yeah, I did. With the gum wrappers.
Yeah, that's so funny. Even farther ahead, did you ever actually have the silver teeth? Like, when you rot out your teeth and they got to put silver caps on as a kid? You ever have caps?
I did. And you know what? Our Indian house service is like really like they're it's not good. And so I think like a lot of like the back teeth still have like the cavities that are silver. And so that's goals 2022 to get them out. So yeah, I had those.
Have you ever seen your auntie like scrap out in front of you? Like your auntie has beef on the res and she just accidentally fights in front of you.
Yup.
Hey, all right, last one. Have you ever been left in the car with popping chips while your parents are like in a bingo hall or a casino or something like that?
No, I heard about it a lot, but I've been left at home, but not in the car.
No, yeah, no, man. That's like my childhood trauma was being like a bingo orphan while my mom just like dipped the bingo all the time. Yeah, all right, man. You know what I think we'll do next? We might as well open it up to some fan questions. River, you got any questions you want to ask Tonya
Wait,
real
am I
fast?
red then, or?
What's that? Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Are you kidding me? That was like 8 for 9 there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're as resi as they come, we'll say.
All right.
There we go. All right, hold up. I'm gonna pop this on the screen real quick.
Wait, can I ask one from earlier?
Yeah, bro. Check it out.
It is from Lynn DeBeater. It says, I love your life story, Tani Johal. How did Auntie Beatrice begin?
So like I said, I started comedy as myself, and that was for the whole purpose of like finding my voice and like wanting to like be known as my name and not someone's woman or someone's daughter. And I was in my Lakota language class, and my instructor was like, you should do like a comedic character, like some of the most, like famous comedians have comedic characters, like the Nutty Professor, like Eddie Murphy, like all the Austin Powers shows like are played by Mike Myers, Robin Williams, Mrs. Doubtfire. They're naming all the he was naming all these, and I was like, nah, I just want to be known as me. I was all mad because he was giving me input, and I was like, nah, that's not a good idea. And then I had to I started to like slowly, like, I'm somebody who, we have powwow masquerades over here, so it's like basically clown dancing every October, and I've done those since 2005 or something, maybe longer. So I have a tickle trunk, I guess you call it, like with a bunch of wigs and like masks and and so I had like a wig. And I was trying it on. I was messing around. I did this auntie video. It's 15 seconds with fry bread can change the world, like that. And there's like 4 aunties, and I played all of them. After he gave me that idea, there's an auntie who is like bougie, like she's just all about casino and like all that. And then there's an auntie who is like real res, and there's an auntie with a mullet, like, and there's an auntie who kind of looked like Beatrice. And they were just talking about how they make their bread, and that bougie auntie was like, I don't make bread, get my hands all, it was really fast. So they had to say this really fast. And Beatrice was kind of developed in there. And then I had a crush on Adam Beach at the time. After I met him, it was different though, and it was more like, I don't have a crush on you anymore because I didn't actually think we were going to meet. And then, okay. So that's why I put Auntie Beach, like Beach, Riss, because I was like, crushing on him, and then I also wanted it to be an older name, like an old style name, like Eunice or like some older name. And so that's how I came up with the character. And then I combined my aunties, a lot of women in my family, their stories into this auntie that it might even be you, and so that's how I came up with the character in the midst of like my 2 and 4 year degree.
Dope. All right, I got a question here. This was from earlier, but I think it's really dope. It says, Tonya, I got a question. This is from Marmar Gaming. We brought him on earlier in one of our episodes. He's a native gaming streamer, and he just kills it, man. We love Marmar so much. But he said, Tonya, I got a question. You kill social media and do well. Have you ever thought about becoming a streamer and chasing, say, Twitch partner? I feel that would open up so many opportunities for you.
What so like that?
It's like a podcast, like podcasting, but also just like streaming like games or like anything like just you can, like, we stream on Twitch right now. So basically he's saying start a podcast, and we agree to. Are you thinking about like starting a podcast or like doing something different?
Yeah, I do want to do that. And I know we all talked about that. I know me and you talked about that, Ray, and I think you might have went out of the shot there for a little while, River, but in our conversation, just to catch everyone up, I wanted to do a podcast, and I was like, man, there's a reason you guys are asking me. I want to do a podcast, and I've been like nervous and not knowing how, and so that is something that's coming like soon.
Yeah, we heard it here first, and we'll be hey, all love, because we're gonna help you through it, man. Anything that you need, we'll make sure that gets up off the ground and it's fire. I mean, come on, who's not gonna tune into a Tonia Joe Hall podcast? You gotta promise us though, can't go at Sunday at 7 p.m. That's how we end, because then all our viewers are gone. Yeah, yeah. No. Hey, there we go. We got a question here. We says, Tonia, would you ever consider doing workshops for the young adults that are consciously working through past trauma as a tool to build self-reliance / confidence?
Do it.
Yeah, I'd be open to that. I think I started stepping into motivational speaking more in the past couple of years, and then at the same time sharing like my life experiences and what's working for me and my story. I feel like that's important for people to understand, because them seeing me is also seeing them. So I'm open to that. Like, yes, let's do that.
Yeah, it's your story's super relatable too. Like I related a lot to it, so it's very, 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 very cool. You should definitely check it out. Do it. I got another one. Where was your first comedy show? What age did you start? From Owen Morningstar.
Oh, okay.
We don't have a comedy show. That one was for you. No, I'm just kidding.
It kind of like cuts out a little bit, so I'm like trying to like make it out, like, because sometimes it's robotic. I'm like, I think he said, okay, now I could read it.
Yeah.
But I did my first comedy show at I volunteered myself. Like, I was practicing 5 minutes because I reached out to like 5 male comedians in Indian country who were doing comedy, and I Facebooked them and said, how do I start? How do I do this? And 2 of them responded, J.R. Redwater and Tito Ybarra. And
we love Tito.
And they just told me write a 5 minute like jokes, I guess. But I did 3 stories. They weren't real, like 3 stories, and I combined them, and then I just was volunteering. And so I volunteered she just went straight into Standing Rock. All of the elders of Standing Rock had a conference out at the Prairie Knights Casino, and I asked them if I can get 5 minutes, and they let me get 5 minutes. And luckily I was friends with like a lot of the elderly, because I did that show there, and they were all really supportive of me, and they came up to me and they told me like that it was funny, and that, gee, I like that story. And I even got a chance to call out some of those elders that I knew and to like joke about them. And so that was probably one of the most memorable like shows that I've done for just volunteering my time and trying to get seen. The elders really encouraged me, and so that was also really scary, because I was like, this can go totally wrong. I could be disrespectful. Oh my god, I'm scared. Okay, I'm gonna go.
Dope. Here's a cool question. You ever have any weird, like, funny requests when you meet a fan?
Trying to think.
Yeah, he was like, he was like, sign my dry meat Ziploc bag. Like weird ones like that.
I think I had to sign a girl's boob before, and I was like, you know how they like, oh my god, you like sign my, like that, you know, like rock stars do. I think that's happened to me before, and I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh. And then I signed somebody's phone, and I was like, your phone? You want me to sign your phone? Like, those are probably the most weirdest. But or besides people smelling me, that's kind of weird. Like men, you know, when you like you're in your sign, but like, that is weird. Like, especially because they're like uncles, and it's like, hurry up, let's take a picture.
Yo, grabbing a little bit too
yeah, like kind of firmly like pulling in. I think I wasn't really knowing like I don't have to do that until like later, but I was like, oh, this is so awkward. Or people will like think I'm my character. Like they'll come up and they'll start talking to me like I'm Beatrice. Like, holy shit, remember that time you woke up by that trailer? Like, fuck, I remember that happened to me too before. And I'm just like, or somebody thought it was really Beatrice, like that Beatrice was a real person. And they wanted, and it was an older man, and he wanted to take me out on a date. And he really thought Beatrice, like, and my girls were like, I can't believe that guy really thought Beatrice was like a real woman. Like, I mean, obviously it's me, but like, you know, like he thought for real, like Beatrice was available commodity.
What's been a laughable moment in your life, like something you've said or done where you've had to laugh it off because it was embarrassing?
Oh God. So I mean, I haven't completely given up on that dream to be a announcer. And so, oh gosh, this is so it's one thing to go on and do comedy for an hour or 45 minutes, but it's another thing that you put yourself out there to be probably one of the first female MCs to go out there. And I went at this big powwow. It's Indio. It's called Indio Powwow. It's in California. And I actually was a co-announcer with Tito Ybarra. That was like, I think I was announcing winners, like getting at the end of the powwow. And instead of calling it Tucson, I was reading and I called it Tucson, Arizona. I was like, oh my. And you know, Indians, oh, Tucson, I heard you. It was like, oh my God. Like, it was like it was just being me too. So it was so embarrassing because you're trying to do your best. Like, it's one thing to hear your voice, a voice of a female coming out on that mic and feeling the uncomfortableness of the entire powwow the whole weekend and sweating to death and freaking out and having anxiety and then you freaking are almost done with your gig there and then you start messing up on the cities and you're like just feeling like a bonehead, like hurry up, you announce the winners.
Yeah, that'd be dope. We're campaigning for you real hard to be the first full-time women's MC, man. That'd be dope. I got a question though. We all got a question, man. Can we interview Auntie Beatrice here on the Foxing Around podcast, man? Like I've been wanting to do it, man. If you guys, if there's any way you could let us interview Auntie Beatrice for like a few minutes, that would be dope.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Hey, I want to know. Okay, while you're doing this, yeah, for real. Yeah, that'd be crazy. So when you're doing this, like, are you like getting into character the entire time that you're getting dressed, or is it kind of like it's not a big thing? You know what I'm saying?
This is really new. Like, I think I envisioned myself like going on stage with like a mirror. Like at one time in my life, I was like, there's gonna be a time where there's gonna be a time where I'm gonna go on stage and instead of like already being transformed in the green room, I'm actually gonna do it in front of the people. And people were like, how are you gonna do that? And you're gonna change up there? And I'm like, I like kind of went away from it because that idea was like being like shot down, you know? I was like, I don't know then, maybe not. But on the this will be my third time like transforming into Beatrice like on a live. In the first, couple lives I did, they seem to be going really well, like with the people seeing like how I do this. And this is actually like a wig cap. This shirt was given to me by my my grandma, my dad's mom. When I was coming up with the character Auntie Beatrice, I was having to find old style clothes from the like 50s or 60s, and so I had got her. She gave me some polyester pants and this flower shirt, and so I wear my grandma's 85. I wear her clothes. Really, that's kind of what's happening. And then this is the second wig that I've gotten. The first wig was like beat up, like because I took it all over Indian country. I still have it, but it looks like, I don't know. It just looks really chamax. I guess that's what you guys say. Or mama,
Yeah,
mama or mom, something like that.
yeah, you got them both right. You're good on that.
Yeah, I'm learning my Cree.
Yeah.
But,
Mamas?
so a fan gave me this. I don't remember that fan's name, but she like was like, hey, I have a wig for you, because she must have seen my wig just look like, I don't know, it was looking rough. And so she sent me this wig in the mail a couple of years ago. Yep, this wig has bugs too.
Yeah, This is so cool to watch, man, because it's like you just like think that it like, you just get into it, but to be like prepared and like, I don't know, it's a cool experience to watch. Somebody said in the comments she's a real life shapeshifter, and that's basically what you're doing if you think about it. You're shifting from one life to another, man.
Yeah. Look out now.
Cool. Yeah, for real.
Start smudging now, guys.
Yeah, man, I'm scared as hell. She's about to run us over on our own show, dog. Like,
I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Oh, this choker was given. I always think it's like really like crazy how when I'll just say it. Whenever white people, I'll just say this immediately. Like when they get like fascinated with who we are as natives, they like revert to like, well, I need a choker and roach clips with colored plumes hanging off. And there's always like this like certain like outfit that they wear. And so I just thought it would be like funny to like put that out there and wear a choker myself, because even Dog the Bounty Hunter, remember he wears those chokers on his biceps. And I have my own joke about that. Like with Auntie Beatrice snaked him, and so she was marking her territory on him, and those were her actual chokers. And so this choker, one of my aunties gave this to me. I was like, hey, let me use that choker, and I added it to the outfit. Yeah. I don't even need to put pants on right now, so that's cool.
Oh yeah, you got like the cookum pants going on, eh? Yeah. Those like dress pants. Yeah, I know what you're talking about here, man. Oh, I'm excited. I'm a little nervous. I don't usually get nervous on the show, but here we go. Oh snap! All right, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all didn't just tune in, man, Tonia Jo Hall was here, but now we got Auntie Beatrice, man. What's up, Auntie Beatrice? What you up to these days, man?
Auntie Beatrice here. I'm just sick of it. I don't like staying in. They just keep trying to make me stay in. They know they can't lock me down. The only time they lock me down is when they lock me up, and I'm not locked up right now. I'm on my second strike. So I gotta watch it when I'm fighting and when I'm beating people up, and I gotta do it with open hand. I can't just be using my brass knuckles, son. And some of these people like to act up at Walmart, and I really don't like that. I go to Walmart to cause drama. That's why my relatives, they make me stay home. But I'm not gonna stay home. I'm not gonna stay home. Yeah, I have to tell them because I can't stand my family. I'm only going to be here for a little while. My cousin's coming to pick me up, and we're going to go cruise because my jug here is getting empty. And when this gets empty, I really get crabby. So you better look out. Better not say nothing to me.
Yo, you're getting too rank already, Auntie Beatrice. What's COVID been like for Auntie Beatrice, man? It sounds like you still be going out, doing whatever you want. What do you do, man? You just chill out still?
Well, they taught me how to use the iPad to play bingo. So I do the 3 Bs. And if you don't know what those are, I'll teach you. Because you guys are kind of young. You don't know about a lot of things. I know. I'll teach you. Anyway, the 3 Bs are sitting in bed, playing bingo, bucket. Bucket. Just sitting there. Just in your buckskin. Just playing bingo for real money, too. I win a lot of money probably because I'm naked. That's my lucky charm. Ask your uncle. Yeah.
Yo, Auntie Beatrice, man. Ask our uncles. Who is uncle? Is there an uncle out there for Auntie Beatrice, or you just got many? How does that work?
Just got many. Many. That's why when I was gathering a nation's princess, I was at first princess. They didn't even have a pageant. They just handpicked me because that's how good of a dancer I was. That's why I retired, because I'm too fucking good. And those women are just jealous of me. Just jealous. Pure jealous of me. I didn't like that. And I decided to, hang it up and just kind of leave it where it was. But when I was at Princess Miss Indian World, the very first one, gee, I just had a giveaway. And guess what I gave away? Some people give away blankets, horses. Some people give away satin star coats. I was giving away men. The ones that I already saved, I was giving it to these women who needed men. bringing those men out, calling those women up. Here, take him and take him. That's what I talk about. Uncles. They come and they go, just like that gas station. Come and go.
Yo, Auntie Beatrice, we're trying to get River a suitable match, man. Is there anyone out there for him? You about to steal him yourself? He's a young nephew, but we're trying to link him up with somebody. So you got it taken care of for us.
I don't know. I guess I would have to kind of check it out for myself. You know how you kind of ride a horse and you kind of see if it bucks or if it trots good or if it, you know, you kind of have to kind of test the waters on your own. Auntie might have to do that. I don't know though. But once I braid his hair, gee, he might just keep following me everywhere. So I don't know. I have some nieces though. I have a bunch of nieces, but they're kind of bigger though. So you better not. Maybe if you're not too worried about if the bigger ones. I have some big nieces, and they can really bead. They can really bead good though. So if you're looking for that, they can cook, cause they know they've been taught right. You'll be taken care of, and if you're ready to settle down right now, they're ready to get married right on a spot. You just let your auntie know. You don't have to wait around and date and snag. I can get you married up right now. Not tomorrow, right now.
Yo, Auntie Beatrice, what are you smoking on? I see you always be hitting that. What you smoking on?
They got these for me in Washington. Or maybe they snuck it over the border because you guys have all the medicines up there. Maybe I don't know. My nieces got this for me and they brought it back because I'm staying here at my cousin's house and she don't like smoking. So I got to go outside and smoke those actual cigarettes I like to smoke. But when I'm in here, I'm puffing on this and kind of just gets me kind of in the clouds a little bit. You know how your auntie is? I grew up in the old AIM days, American Indian movement. So your auntie, that's when it was all about the regs, the regs, and so now it's everything, dabs and all these different kind of cookies and brownies, but I'm not into that. I'm just into the regs. And so I don't know what this is, blueberry pie or something. That's the only blueberry I'm eating lately.
Yo, Auntie Beatrice, when's the last time you came to Canada, man? You've been up here in the last little bit, taking down powwows, or what are you doing? You miss Canada a little bit?
It's been a long time, your auntie. I have many warrants. I have many violations. The feds, they're after me. They've always been after me. The whole time. They're just after me. They're always looking for me, and I'm always hiding and running from the cops. I get over there when I can, though. I sneak her in the trunk, and I get behind all those Walmart bags every once in a while. I make it over there. A couple of years ago, about 5 years ago, I made it to that Eugene Cardinal, that round dance. No, your auntie was just dancing with them Alexis men. They just can't get enough of your auntie. Gee, they just didn't want to let me go. They're trying to marry me, those men up there. Gee, I had to leave because your auntie. I'm all about the buffet. I'm not about one course meal. I'm about taking up a plate and having many options.
Yo, that's wild, Auntie Beatrice. Man, last question. What is Auntie Beatrice gonna do in the future? What you got going on, Auntie Beatrice? What you gonna do once COVID's done? You're back to living your day-to-day life. What you gonna be doing?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna go to the 49. I haven't did that in a while. Am I the only one missing it or what? And then I'm gonna snag some more. I've been snagging steadily, but I'm gonna snag like I used to. I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna get back to the way that things used to be. I hitchhike a lot of places, but I have my own vehicle now. It's on all donut tires, but it's still mine though. Well, it's my cousin's, but he pawned it to me, and he's not going to get it back because I only gave him 4 days to get me that $50 back. So things are changing around here. I have a car. I don't have to ask for nobody for nothing, for a ride or nothing. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I don't plan that far. I hope I'm not locked up, but if I am and you get a letter that has old English, that's from your auntie, and you better send me money so I can get commissary and I could pick out snacks, and you better be drawing pictures of me and writing to me. Tell your uncles my address if I get locked up. I don't know. I'm crazy. I'll probably be in jail. You know, asking your auntie about the future.
Oh, all right. Well, you know what, Auntie Beatrice, thank you so much for joining us here tonight, man. We love to see what you're up to, and like I said, make sure you take up River on that offer. He wants to get to know Auntie Beatrice, so we'll make that happen. But thanks again, Auntie Beatrice, for coming through, man. It was dope to have you.
Examaga moistas.
Hey, there we go. All right. So Tonia's going to be joining us here back in a minute. She's just got to handle some. Oh my God, bro. I don't even know how to talk right now because that shit was so fucking funny, dude. Oh my God, man. Hey, you know what we're going to do real fast? Everyone, call in right now. Right now, we're going to do our giveaway real fast. So someone call this number right now. We're going to give $200 away to the charity of your choice. So give us a call. We'll be waiting for the call. We'll find out who it is, and we'll give $200 away. Thank you to our friends at Cleanest Way, Duct and Furnace Cleaning, man. Bro, there's not enough good words I can say about those guys, man. They're so down to earth, bro. It's about a bigger picture. They're really doing great things, man, and I can't thank them enough. So the phone number is on the live here right now. First person that calls in, man, we're gonna give away $200. So let's make it happen. We'll wait for Tonia for a second as well too. Bro, I hope someone calls. What if no one calls? Wouldn't that be embarrassing?
That earphone's dry as hell.
Hey,
bro.
there we go. We got a phone call from Loon Lake. I'm gonna pick it up here.
You Lake.
Hey, good evening. You're on Foxing Around. How's it going? Hello. Uh-oh. Hello. No one's picking up. I might have to take. Hello.
Is this me? Am I on the line?
Hey, you're on the line. How's it going, sir?
Oh, fuck, boy. Sorry, I'm not supposed to swear. My bad.
It's all good, man. How's it going? Who are we speaking to?
My name is Clinton, boys.
Clinton, what's going on, man? How are you?
Pretty dope what you guys are doing, man.
Hey.
Just gotta say that right now. It's dope what you guys are doing.
Hey, thank you so much, man. It means a lot, bro. So what are you going to tell us about your charity, bro? You got a charity or a nonprofit that we can give this money away to?
The one I got in mind right now, it's called Inspire. So like ING, Spire, as in like, you know, inspire.
Yeah.
I'm writing it down right now, Ray.
It's Indigenous Education Canada's Future. Honestly, like off the top of my head, this is the first one I could think of. I didn't like actually think I would get on the line with you guys.
Hey.
But what this one means to me, I have my grandpa, his oldest brother. He wrote a book on like First Nations lifestyle and like the lifestyle and like what the North was like and like the I think he stretched it back like almost 6 generations, like right from when his family came over from Scotland. And anyways, my point being, in his note, the author of his book, and the book is called From the Barren Lands, from Leonard G. Flett. Leonard no longer is alive anymore. Bless his soul. But this is something that he actually started or helped start up, and he stuck with it. He actually held the chairs throughout while he was still alive. And I'm surprised that he was the first one to call, actually. But I don't know what else to tell you guys about that. But yeah, this is the one that if you guys are like actually doing this, if you guys want to donate to that one.
Yeah, we're actually doing it, bro. We got you, bro. That's a really cool story.
Yeah.
It's called Inspire, I believe.
Shit, man, you guys are dope.
Yeah, so we'll send the $200 off, man. We'll write it down here just to make sure. Tell us your name again, man, and where you're from, bro.
My name is Clinton Flett. I'm from Loon Lake, Saskatchewan. In place Nakwasegagan First Nation.
Hey, that's dope. That's River's hometown too, man. And we're so excited that you're our first ever caller, man. The good thing about this, man, is Yeah, we're going to be doing this every week for the next 4 months, man. So if you missed it out today, man, there will be another opportunity next week and the week after and the week after and the week after. So, man, there's going to be a lot of money that we're going to be able to donate to these charities. So we're going to throw it down to Inspire this weekend. Thank you so much for giving us a call, bro. And yeah, bro, stay in touch. Like the page. And Tonya says hi, too.
I was like probably 12, 13 years old.
Hey, that's so dope. That's so dope. I'm sorry they can't hear you right now. We got to update our system so you'll be able to call on the entire show. I'm just
Bro.
third party in this. So
We can hear him.
All right,
Oh, okay.
That's dope anyways, man. You guys are just starting this shit. Sorry.
It's all good, bro. You can swear on here. We are an adult show. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm working on my custom. So.
Hey, there you go. We're all working on our custom. I'm gonna let you go though, brother. We're gonna say goodbye to Tonya. So thank you so much for calling in, bro.
All right, man. Have a good night.
All right, peace, bro. Hey, that was dope. So there you go. First 200 goes to Inspire, man. The guy had a great story about what's going on there and what it means to him. So yeah, that'll be a donation from us and Cleanest Way, which is dope. Tonya, damn, man, what an episode, dude. Like, you are so cool, man. You need to do your own show. You need to get on here and like make this happen because your story is something that like everybody I feel like can take a piece of and like relate to. Like I was in there like, and I don't really like relate to a lot of people, but I'm like, yo, like that is some real shit that I felt, man. And like I felt it on another level. I'm like, yo, like that's cool. So if you need some help doing that, man, we'd love to do that with you, man, and help you out. I'm gonna let River say goodbye. And then usually what we do is to end it off, we're gonna put you on the main screen and you can just give like a good words of encouragement or, you know, just say whatever you need to say, talk as long as you want, but it'll be just you on the screen. So I'm gonna give it up to River.
Hello, can you hear me? Does it sound decent? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Shit. Hold on. How about now? Yeah. Cool. Okay, cool. No, I just want to say thank you again for coming on Foxing Around. It's really great to meet you. And yeah, don't be afraid to reach out for anything. Me and Ray have your back. We always had your back, but going forward, I'm glad that we're able to network and everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a treat. Thanks again. If you're welcome to come back on the show anytime you want, whatever. We'll talk about whatever. Just let us know and we will book it. Other than that, we'll let you take the screen solo.
Yeah. One
Alright.
thing, sorry, one last thing too. We'll be sending you a sweater from our new merch. It comes out
Alright.
in like next week. So just as a thank you for coming on here and doing what you do. But we're gonna throw you up on solo now, man. It's your time to shine. So here you go. Have at her.
Oh gosh. Hi. Just got raised. Hi. Hey everyone. I just wanted to again thank the guys for inviting me on here. Gee, I just got nervous again. Okay. My message for everyone is to take care of yourself, to take this time during this pandemic to look at yourself and where are your weaknesses? What do you need to work on? What are your strengths? Recognize those. What are you good at? What, really saying those nice things to yourself is important. Look, when you're looking at yourself in the mirror instead of looking at those negative things that you don't like, how about talk about 3 things, challenge yourself every day to look at those things that you like about yourself, work on something new every day, one of those things new every day. As soon as you get up, make it a goal to say what you're grateful for. Before you go to bed, do the same. Remember to incorporate prayer because I wouldn't even be able to be where I am without it, and however you pray, that just remember that's the way to do it. There is no right and wrong way to do it. And just to remember to give yourself some grace. I think in my life, a lot of times I had high expectations and myself a lot of grace. And so I'm working on that. And when I say give yourself grace, like when you mess up or you make a mistake, don't scold yourself. Like try to do better next time. It's not like, geez, and forever dragging your feet. Like, see this mud? I did something before. I did that before, but like, okay, like clean that mud off and walk forward with whatever you did, and remember that's a part of, your life, but it doesn't define you. Like, you can always, every step you can get better, get to a better version of yourself, and without comparing yourself, or like, I want my life to be like theirs or like theirs. But look at your life. You have your own unique life, you have your own unique voice, you have your own uniqueness about you. Really look within and see what those things are for you. When I first started doing videos, it's like, oh my God, I don't like how my voice sounds. But I had to grow to really, even how I talk or pronounce things, I had to really give myself grace and say, without the way I talk, without my voice, like, I wouldn't be able to be communicating with all of you. And I had to really thank myself and thank Creator for being able to have that voice and to be able to share my story. And so that's one small example of looking within and looking at yourself. This is a time to take care of yourself. There's a reason why we're all inside. It's not just, oh, I just want to Netflix all day. I mean, like, I would do that, but it's about looking within and strengthening those relationships that are close to you, working on those. It's not always easy either. There's times that I've wanted to give up, whether it was my sisters or my mom, or even being a mother. Like, it's those are hard, challenging things, and that's the truth in it. It's not just, oh, this is all good, like self-development, so fun and easy. No, it requires uncomfortableness and an uncomfortable feeling that you don't always want to sit in and you want to run from. But there's tools with that. Like, we talked about therapy, we talked about expressing yourself through art, through dance, through fitness, through journaling, through reading, through working through anxieties. We're always a work in progress. So again, I just wanted to thank you for tuning in, and I want to ask you to share foxing around, because and tell people about it, because it's important that we're spreading all of this goodness. If you felt good here listening to this show, I think it's important it's all about word of mouth. I mean, that's the whole reason I'm where I am right now, is because of everyone who's given me that love. It's important that we're all uplifting each other. And I believe in foxing around. I'm really thankful that I was a fan of theirs before I came on here. And so Wopila, Mazagarads, hi.
Hey, thank you so much again, man. Those are some beautiful words, Tonia. We will for sure be seeing you again here on Foxing Around, man. Much love. All right. Damn, bro. That was hella dope. What a guest, man. What a time, bro. She made us laugh. She made us think, bro. She's a good support system too, man. Honest to God, like, when you talk to her, you're like, oh man, it's Tonia Jo Hall. Like, she's the biggest, like, comedian, funny person in Indian country. She has a big aura about her. But you talk to her, like, when we were conversating with her, we were like, yo, she just seems like one of the homies. You know what I mean? Like, just one of the bros. So I'm thankful to have crossed paths with her, and hopefully we can do some more work in the future, because she's hella dope, man. And I'm really excited about hopefully her doing her own podcast and everything else. Once again, we'd like to send a quick shout out and a thank you to our friends at Cleanest Way Duct and Furnace Cleaning, man. They did some sponsorship with us. They're going to be able to help us give away that money every week, which is going to be dope, man. And I'm really looking forward to that part. What about our guest next Sunday, bro?
Yeah, I just want to clear disclaimer. Me and Ray are still broke, because everything we get, we give it away. We give away all of our money and all of our stuff, so we're still broke. So I ain't sending anybody e-transfers. Sorry, guys. Don't ask me. Shout out Cleanest Way, man. It means a lot, for real, bro. What they're doing for them to believe in us, to see us, man. It's like so many people believes in us, bro, and that's what keeps me going, man. That's the thing that makes me sit here every Sunday, and that's what makes me work hard to ensure that we're doing what we have to do. Like, we're going to be getting new equipment soon, because people believe in us, man. And like, we still don't even have the money, but it's just people like believing in us, gifting us stuff, man. It's such a dope feeling, bro. I kind of had a brain fart about who our next guest is next week, so you're gonna have to take over and let everybody know.
Hey, we got the baller, bro. We got the man, but he's so much more than a basketball player too, man. He's transitioned into another like part of his life, man. And he's like I follow his social medias, and me and River are huge fans, man. The dude, like, it's like crazy. He's like a mountain biker. He's like a father. He just does so much like cool and dope things. Damon Bell Holscher is coming through next Sunday, man.
And he was a Boston Celtic.
And he was on the Boston Celtics, but
And
bigger than basketball. But yeah, former NBA player, man, Damon Bell Holscher. He's from Hideaway up in Alaska, man. We connected with him. He's such a nice dude. We're really looking forward to it and excited. Yeah, bro, let's just keep doing this damn thing, bro. I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying the company that we keep, the people that we're meeting, and just the stories that are being told on here. It's like, damn, man. I don't think it can get any better than it does, bro. Like, we just interviewed Tonia, and then we got a whole ass Auntie Beatrice. Like, man, bro, what? It's crazy.
Bro, I was trying to sell my ass, man. Like,
yeah, bro. I'm not trying to sell you. I'm just like, yo, it's like, I feel like when we speak it out into existence, it's like, it makes it real, you know? Like, we're not just playing with this. Like, this is actually happening. And yeah, I don't know. I'm a fan, bro. I'm finally glad that this is the first time I've ever seen Rivers' bed made. So, foxing around is important to what we do here, man.
Bro, every time I stream, I make the bed. For real. Every time I stream, I make the bed. Yeah, but I don't do hospital corners. But bro, best thing about res security. No, just kidding. No, but I just bought the new Xbox, bro, and I bought a new monitor, so I'm gonna get off and play a little bit because I got my first day of classes tomorrow, bro. Monday. I'm back in school. Final semester. Let's get it, bro. Let's get it.
Hey, yes, sir, bro. Let's stay locked in, man. I'm proud of you, bro. Everything you're doing, bro. Have fun on that Xbox tonight. Stay up really late and drink a ton of Pepsi, bro. But I'm gonna let you go too, bro. Much love. We'll see you guys next Sunday. Much love to everybody. Hey, we still got shirts.
Oh yeah, we still got shirts.
Buy some. Don't be cheap. No, just kidding. Love you guys. All right, man. See you guys next Sunday. Peace.